what is our first main topic today?
Hey guys, so our first main topic comes from Kyle Arking. He says, "Hi John, Ray, and Kimberly. West Side Story is one of my most anticipated movies this month. The reactions are out and they're breathtaking. Critics are praising Rachel Zegler's acting debut and saying it's one of the best films of 2021. Never doubt Steven Spielberg. What are your thoughts? Thanks and have a great day."
All right, so look, you guys know that Steven Spielberg to me is... There is no question. He is the greatest filmmaker of all time. I mean, there are a lot of great ones out there, but none of them have the sheer size of catalog of excellence that Steven Spielberg does. And on top of that, when you list off like a lot of your greatest directors, none of them have shown the ability to do the diversity of filmmaking and storytelling that Steven Spielberg can do. Want to do a sci-fi epic? Steven Spielberg can do that. You want a big period piece? Steven Spielberg can do that. You want to do a war movie? Steven Spielberg can do that. You want to do a comedy? Steven Spielberg's done that. You want to do, I mean, you name it. He's every kind of movie. The only kind of movie I can think of that Steven Spielberg hasn't done is a horror. I think a horror is probably the only one he hasn't done. He is simply the greatest thing. With that being said, I have had almost no interest in West Side Story. It's not because it's a remake, because I have no problems with remakes. It's not because they got this newcomer in the lead role. I've heard her sing, man. She can sing. She's going to do very well in West Side Story. It's not that I don't like musicals. I can like a good musical. I just love Tick, Tick, Boom, Greatest Showman, whatever. I mean, one of my top 20 favorite films of all time is actually Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is actually in my top 20 favorite films of all time. I love that thing. But for whatever reason, I have never felt all that excited about West Side Story. Don't know. Oh, you know what? Mr. A and a bunch of people in the live chat are now correcting me, and you're absolutely right. Campy, what are you talking about? No horror movie. Jaws. I yield to the live viewers on this. Of course. So he's even done that. He's even done... What can Steven Spielberg not do? Indiana Jones, I got you covered. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, gotcha. Jaws, gotcha. Emmy, Oscar winners, gotcha.
Terminal?
Schindler's List.
No, not Terminal, baby. Not Terminal. Terminal is one bad film. Want to do giant monster movie, Jurassic Park? I mean, he can do it all, man.
Yeah,
He's Steven
man.
Spielberg, but I still haven't been all that excited for it. I just haven't felt it. I haven't felt it. Well, apparently, I should have felt it. Anyway, listen, this comes to us from the folks over at Joe Blow, who's writing this. West Side Story serves as the first movie musical. This is the one Steven Spielberg hasn't done. He hasn't done a musical. As the first movie musical for director Steven Spielberg, and it's written by frequent collaborator Tony Kushner, who earned screenwriting Oscar nominations for writing duties on Spielberg's Munich, which is so underrated. Munich is amazing. And Lincoln, which of course won a bunch of awards. Expectations are high for West Side Story, as the 1961 film adaptation is considered one of the best of the genre, earning 10 Oscar wins, which puts it in second place for most Oscar wins of a film of all time, 11, of course, being the record, including Best Picture. So yeah, the reviews on this thing have been, the first reactions are out. They did the world premiere in New York. Obviously, you're going to do the world premiere of West Side Story in New York. And the first reactions are coming in, and they are, I think, the best reactions I've seen of any film all year. I mean, they are the best reactions I've seen of any film all year. And maybe this will learn me not to doubt the Spieg, not to doubt Spielberg. All right, listen, this is some of the reactions we're getting coming out of there. Matt Rooney wrote, "Well, of course, Spielberg did it. West Side Story is sensational, visually marvelous, and adapts the material in a way that feels in its own while playing homage to an era of movie musical gone by. Ziegler is a tour de force star in the making of, and many performers are simply knockouts." This one comes to us from Eric Davis, our friend Eric, of course, who's over at There Fandango. He writes, "Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is a triumph. It's beautiful and brilliantly photographed, a real love letter to New York City." Of course, Eric lives in New York, so of course he likes that. "With a tremendous ensemble cast who truly redefined this classic story for a new generation. Shout outs to Rachel Zegler and Ariana DeBossy, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, who crush it in this film. Daniel Baptista writes, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is a love letter to classic Hollywood filmmaking with music, choreography, and set design that are pure magic. This one comes to us from Critical Overlord, who wrote, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, and it's okay that he misspelled Steven's name. Steven Spielberg's West Side Story adaptation was a visual spectacle. Rachel Zegler steals every scene with her impressive debut performances, felt more brutal than the original film, and I couldn't get enough of the immaculate set designs, which is one of the reasons that I have not been all that excited for West Side Story.
Why?
I don't need to see a lot of dancing gang fights.
That's the style.
Apparently, they took a lot of that out and replaced it to make it feel more like visceral and violent and stuff like that. It's like, because I knew I'm gonna have a hard time buying like these impressive street fights when they're starting out.
Dance fighting is the original fight.
Dance fighting
Style. Ain't nothing like a dance fight.
Nothing like a big dance fight. But let's keep going through here, shall we? Kevin Powoli writes, Spielberg does not disappoint with West Side Story. Okay, maybe not as much dance fighting this time. Thank you. Maybe not as much dance fighting this time, but sets a mood from the opening moments and delivers all the way through that gut-punching climax. America is the easy highlight. Well, of course it'll be. That's the highlight from the original as well. Is the easy highlight, but man, Rachel Zegler is magnetic in every scene. And guys, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, the overwhelming praise for this, for a movie that I, quite frankly, even though it is my favorite filmmaker of all time, have been, frankly, kind of lukewarm on. But if this movie is as good as they're saying it is, then this has been a pretty good year for the musical. Because In the Heights,
so good.
So unfortunate that it did so badly at the box office. Because In the Heights, I knew nothing of In the Heights. I walked into it pretty clean. Was literally, I told the story before, but Ann and I, when the credits were rolling, we literally got up and danced in the aisles with the closing credit music. We were literally dancing in the aisles with it. It's amazing. Tick, tick, boom. I mean, it should get Andrew Garfield some Academy Award nomination looks.
Sure.
And now apparently West Side Story. So it might be the time of the musical. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about these early reactions? Granted, it's just early reactions, but still, they look pretty damn good. How do you feel about them right now? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.